upright so you have a couch behind you. Great. So I'm going to just dip my camera down just a little bit. Yeah, go ahead and start there, Adam. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start standing. Again, if you need your chair, grab a chair for balance. And we're just going to start with some heel raises. So we're going to rock forward onto the balls of the feet and lift your heels, and then lower yourself down, rock into the heels a little bit and start to float the toes up. And again, use your chair, a wall, something to help you if you have balance challenges there. And as I said in the intro, some of the work will be a little bit more fine-tuned and working on the precision principles, but then I encourage you guys to have a playful mentality about it too. Let loose a little bit, let your body move. We're going to do that 2 more times, just warping up the feet. And last one. Very nice. Stretching out the feet here, you're going to take one leg, turn your toenails down towards the floor, and then drag your foot in until you can't bend your toes anymore. And then lift them up and place it down. Same thing on the other side. Reach the leg back, place the toenails on the floor, drag your foot in, and then replace the foot. So we're getting your toes to fold backwards using your weight on the toes, okay? And the more pliable your toes are today, the more you're going to be able to bend the heel towards the toes, kind of in that fashion. We'll do one more on the other side. Just dragging in and then release. I'm just going to turn towards the camera so you can see we're going to have almost like a high heel. So have the toes flat on the mat, and we're just going to do some ankle circles. Try to get your weight all the way onto the big toe and then all the way out to the side, letting the knee almost cross over your midline. And then reverse the direction of your ankle circles. Good. And we'll switch to the other side. So go ahead and lift up your heel on the other leg and ankle circles. Get yourself to make big circles with your knee, making sure that you're crossing the midline all the way through the big toe pad to the pinky toe side. Switch the direction of that ankle circle. Good. Nice. All right, either facing your chair or not, up to you. We're going to float a little bit onto your toes. Bend your knees down, stand yourself back up, and then lower your heels down. So from the side, it will look like this. Heels up, bend down, push away, and lower the heels. Good. Nice work. So getting a little bit of work in the intrinsics of your feet and your ankles. The better you can perceive your feet, the better you're going to be able to perceive the ground underneath you, and then hopefully that will result in a little bit less kind of balance issues and a little more agility. Yeah, let's do 2 more. And one more time. Nice work, and release. You guys all look like you have a chair or a desk or something. We're just gonna walk. Easy walk, take a couple steps back, and then let yourself bow and bring your heart down for a stretch in the shoulders. And then bring yourself a little bit forward and lean into the chair. Make sure that that chair is stable. Yeah. Sit back, stick your hips out behind you, reach the heart down towards the floor, and forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Press back. Make sure you're working with something sturdy. Good. One more time. Good. Hold yourself at the bottom of that hinge. So your hips are back and your arms are forward. We're going to take your right hand to the center of your chair and your left hand behind your back. Yeah. From here, we're going to rotate open towards the ceiling on the left side. So rotate your body, look over your left shoulder. Good. Return. Bring your left hand onto the chair, your right hand in the small of your back, and rotate over your right shoulder. Good. We'll do that one more time each side. Left hand in the small of your back. Push down through your chair a little bit to help you get more rotation. Nice job. Your eyes are going to lead your way. Good. Switch to the other side. Push down and rotate. Nice work. Go ahead and bring yourself up, walking in towards the chair. Take your hands and just trace underneath your rib cage here, right under your rib cage, all the way around your back. And just bringing some awareness to say to yourself, this is where we are going to fold in the next exercise. So we're not going to bow in the hips in the next exercise. We're going to fold at this level. Slide your hand down the side of your leg, doesn't matter which side. And again, you're folding at that level. Let your hands and your head be heavy as you roll your spine forward like a rag doll. Switch over to the other side. You're going to be in this side bend next, and then bring yourself back upright. So if you get dizzy through this one, just take it a little bit easy, okay? Side bend down to the side. Fold over that point that we touched on ourselves. Roll through. Roll to the side. And then bring yourself upright, okay? So we're just getting some looseness in the spine. We're going to do it a few more times. Feel free to work at different points in the spine that you need a little bit more mobility in, okay? So it doesn't always have to be the same point that you hinge over. That was just sort of our starting point. If you want to go a little higher or a little bit lower, you can. So bringing it back. Nice. And return. We're going to do one more time there and back. Go for it. Rolling through, let the head and the arms be heavy. The gravity of your limbs will pull you in the stretch. Yep. And last one. Nice job. Good. All right, we're just going to do one last stretch for your ankles and your hips before we come down onto the floor, so you can use your chair again. Try to have your back heel anchored on the floor. I'm just going to say back heel, front side, no right and left, just back heel. We're going to lift up through the back heel and get really tall through your spine. Bend your back knee down towards the floor. Bring yourself back up and then lower the heel down. Okay, notice I said towards the floor. You don't necessarily have to go all the way down. So heel up, bend the back knee in some fashion. Good, rise up, and then lower the heel down. So we just rinse and repeat here. Up, try to keep a nice tall spine as you lower. And through, good. Weight distributed between both sides is gonna make sure that you're not leaning too far forward into the chair. Keep yourself vertical. Yeah, we'll do that 2 more times. Up, drop straight down. There you go, Mike, nice job. Heel down, last one. Heel up, drop straight down, rise up, and return. Nice work. So we're starting our transition down to the floor here. So back heel, we're gonna start it with it dropped low. Quick precision point here. Try to make sure that that toe's not pointed outward. You wanna keep it forward here in that back side. Okay, so you're really rolling over the toe. Here we go. Lift the heel up, get nice and tall, lower straight down, rise up, lower the heel back. Good. If you're feeling good, take one hand off the chair, maybe test the waters there. Yeah. Beautiful. You got it. 3 more times. Some heat in the legs. 2. Yep, really work the push off on the back leg, that push through the toes. Last one. Nice work. Beautiful. We're gonna do one more, just halfway to bring us all the way down. Bend the knee, come all the way down. Bring your other knee underneath you. We're gonna move this chair out of the way. and come down onto your back. Come down onto your back there. All right, we're gonna start with ourselves in a big X pattern. So bring your legs out to the widest part and your arms out to the widest part. And this is where we get to enjoy some play. So I want you guys to make snow angels. So we're gonna bring the arms down and then the arms out and up. I know, I'm crazy. Snow angels, or maybe dog hair angels, depending on what's on your floor. Yeah, good, 2 more. And last one, because I know people are getting situated on the floor here. Good, finish in your X pattern. We're gonna take your right arm and reach it up towards the ceiling. Imagine someone's pulling your arm across the body. So I'm sort of gravitating towards my camera, which is over to the side of me. And I'm gonna roll as I reach towards the camera or on the diagonal. Good. And then bring yourself back down onto the mat. Bring your arms out to the side. We'll do the same thing with the left arm. As you guys are working, you're starting to create that full roll. So lift the arm up, reach over, lift your back off the mat and almost roll onto your right side completely. And then bring it back down and return. Very nice. Arm up, spiral the spine, reach, reach, reach. Good. And then return. We're gonna do a couple more. I'm gonna layer in different cues. As you guys are working through the right and left side, you don't have to wait for me. As you guys are working through your reach, for example, right side reach, I'm also gonna reach my right leg in opposition of where my hand is. So that's gonna create a little bit more ringing of the spine and a little bit more tension through your system. Reach that right leg back. Yeah, and then return. Same thing, left arm reach. Reach your left heel in opposition of what your hand is doing. Good, and return. Reach and roll. Nice. Last 2. Beautiful. We're gonna do one more time to the right side, and that's gonna take us fully onto our sideline, fetal position. Yeah. Take your arm in front of you, reach it as far forward on the floor as you can. Actually, give yourself a little thumbs up. And you're gonna have your eyes follow your thumb throughout this movement. If you get dizzy, don't follow the thumb, just go back to what you normally would. So we're gonna take our eyes and our thumb up overhead, circle it behind us, reach it behind us so our back is maybe flat on the mat. Then the thumb's gonna reach pass towards the heels, over the hips, and then back to where we started. So we traced a big circle around our head. Taking our eyes with your thumb. And again, if the eye following component of this exercise makes you dizzy, just look straight forward or do some abbreviated version of that. Good, we'll do that one more time. One more big sweep through. Good, and then finish down in front of you. Let's take this top leg and stretch it out long and place your top hand on your hip. Yep, and we'll bend the knee back in. It's just gonna be this reach for a second while people get situated. Reach and pull. Good. When the leg reaches, start to rock your hip in that direction. So when the knee comes in, your waistline sort of sags down towards the mat. When the leg reaches out, the hip starts to sort of push towards the heel. And you can use your top hand to direct that. So smush in, reach long. Smush in, reach long. Smush in, reach long. 2 more. And last one. We're gonna reach the leg all the way out. As if someone's pulling your leg, push yourself up and reach towards your leg for a little hamstring stretch. Don't get too comfortable because we're gonna come back down on our side, that same direction. That's the transition. We're gonna make this transition really efficient and fluid. So we're gonna come down to the mat, bend your top knee in, kick the top leg out, push yourself off the floor, and then reach towards the other leg. Nice. We're gonna do that 5 more times. As if someone's pulling on your leg. There you go. Nice. Someone's pulling on your leg. Good. We got 2 more. Good. And last one. Nice work, you guys. Right here, no hands. Bring your legs over to the other side. And then lay down on your side. We're gonna do our pinwheel stretch again. Thumbs up, reach forward. I need to get a contrasting mat, I think, don't I? Reach forward. Eyes on your thumb. We're gonna reach, either that or get a tan. Reach up and over. Spiral your eyes with your hand. Following your thumb. When you guys are doing your rotations, see if you can almost like a pancake, like flip flop your spine. So when the arm reaches forward, try to get your chest down on the floor. And then when you rotate behind you, try to get your back down on the floor. Yeah, without your hips falling too far. We'll do that a couple more times. Chest down on the floor. And then spine down. Nice. Good. Last one. Reach. And roll. Awesome job. And then return. We're going to take your top hand on your hip and your bottom and your top leg out long. And we're just going to move through the hips first. So just that small movement, as if someone's pulling on your leg. When your leg gets pulled out that way, you may get some space underneath your waistline. And then when the leg comes in, the waistline goes back down to the floor. So rock the hip, pull the hip. Rock the hip, pull the hip. Rock the hip, pull the hip. These little subtle hip movements are important for you guys to bring into your movement practice. They don't always happen in your gait. So bringing them in when you can on the floor in a more controlled environment is really nice. All right. Finish with the leg out long, hands underneath you. As if someone's pulling on your top foot, push yourself up and get a little stretch over towards the side. Good. I'm all about the transitions and being efficient and fluid in your transitions on and off the floor. That's kind of my MO for my practice. I'm always steering towards that goal. Nice. This side's looking better for you guys. A little bit more, maybe learning curve, or is this the better side? Yeah, more confidence. Last 2. Yep, and one more time. Good, nice job. No hands, bring the legs out in front of you. I'm just gonna turn so you guys can see my side profile. All right, we're gonna take our hands underneath your thighs. And from here, we're just gonna draw off the back of your sit bones and lower yourself down a little bit. Use your abdominals to help you pull yourself up. And if you need a little assistance, use your hands. All right, as you guys work, it's not a fall back and it's not a slouch. It's an active draw of the pelvis underneath you. And then we sweep the sit bones and lift through the spine. Nice. Sweep the sit bones underneath you. I'm just showing with my hands. You can have your hands on your thighs. I'm just giving you some imagery. And then sweep the sit bones to sit up tall. Bend your knees if you need to. I know tight hamstrings can make that hard. Scoop and roll, maybe a little bit further this time. Scoop and pull back up. We're gonna do that 2 more. Scoop and roll. And roll back up. Nice job. All the way down this time, all the way through, and lay on your back again. Nice job. Let's bring your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. This is called a hook line position. Separate your feet quite wide and bring your arms out into a T. Let your knees fall over to the left and take your eyes over to your right hand. We're going to switch the knees and the eyes at the same exact rate. So the knees swivel and the head and the eyes swivel over to the other side. Knees swivel, head and eyes swivel to the other side. Knees swivel, head and eyes swivel. Good. One more time over to the left with your eyes. Good. And release out. Nice job. Walk your feet in just a little bit closer together and then bring your hands down by your side. From here, shoulders nice and wide. Press your hips up into a bridge and let your knees go long over your toes. So press your hips up off the floor. There you go. From here, lower your hips down to the floor. I'm not going to give you any rules with this one. It's just however you do it. Press the hips up and then lower the hips down. And press the hips up and lower the heels down. Hips down. Press the hips up and lower the hips down. One more time. Press up and lower down. Nice job. Now walk your heels in a little bit closer towards your bum. So that way you have your shin here is vertical towards the floor. And sometimes if you guys have your camera on in a gallery view, sometimes it's nice so you could see what your body alignment is in the camera. We're going to try that again. Press the hips up. When you press the hips up, imagine that you're dragging your heels towards your shoulder blades. And then lower your hips down. Drag your heels towards your shoulder blades as you rise up. And then lower back down. Nice. Drag the heels and down. We'll do that 3 more times. Nice hip extension, opening up the fronts of the thighs. And last one. Good. Nice work. Send your left leg out long, but pull your right knee into your chest and just rock side to side. Yep. We're going to do some hip stirs with that right leg. So holding onto your knee with your right hand, let your leg come around in a circle. Make sure it crosses over the midline and then brings it back up. Yeah, do what you can to do that little hip stir here. If you want to hold your knee or the back of your thigh, if you're having trouble holding onto that too, you can grab a towel and hold it with a towel. You guys look like you're doing a good job though. Switch the direction of your hip stirs. Here's my mom. She just logged in. Good. And then we'll slide that leg out long and let's go for the other leg. So we're going to grab behind the thigh. Hi, Mary. Can you mute yourself?
I can.
Okay. Good. Thanks. So we're just stirring through the leg. And thank you, Adam. Good. Switch to the other side with the other direction. Nice. All right. We're going to add some flavor to these bridges. Bring your heels back underneath you, arms down by your side. Press your hips up into that high bridge that we worked on earlier. Send your knees out long and pull your heels in. We're going to take your right hip and rock it down towards the floor. Tap your right side down to the mat, but leave your left side still lifted. Tricky. Press yourself back up towards the ceiling. Even out the hips. We're going to do the left side now. Rotate the left hip down towards the mat. Try to keep your right side off the mat, but just the left side touches. And then press yourself back up. And we're just going to leave it at that. Right side drops and pulls down. Press it back up. Left side drops and pull back up. Good. I like this exercise. It's sort of like having sassy hips in like a walking pattern while in your bridge. Good. And you can speed up your tempo if that's for you. Getting a little power walk in. 8 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's just time intervals, and 1. And then roll your spine down towards the mat. Nice job. Right here, let's bring your arms up past your ears. And if this feels uncomfortable for you, you're just gonna have your arms sort of reaching out in the air. If you can get your arms all the way to the mat, more power to you. Then bring your arms back down by your side. And we'll do that again. Arms up overhead. If you're having pinching in the shoulders, you can also go wider through your arms and then bring your arms down by your side. Here we go, just up and down. Super simple. Lift and lower. Good. We're gonna pair this with a bridge in a second. Good. All right, hold your hands down by your side. Let's grab that bridge again. Press the hips up. Shoulders long around your shoulders. Good. Bring your arms up towards the past your ears. Now this time we're gonna roll the spine down one vertebrae at a time. So we're gonna start at the top of your spine. Try to get the upper ribs to drop down towards the mat. And then maybe your mid back. And then rolling down one at a time. And then your tail will finally hit. And then we hit home base, all right? Bring your arms back down just to shake out the shoulders for a second. We're gonna do that again. Arms come up first. Press the hips up, stand on top of your shoulders. Now roll your spine down one vertebrae at a time. With a nice long exhale. Trying to get your spine to be in as many pieces as possible. Good. And then bring the arms back down. Press your hips up. Bring the arms back up. Stretch those fingers nice and long across the room, and then roll through your spine. Top of the ribs, roll, 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 one vertebrae at a time, all the way through, and release. Nice job. We're gonna do that a couple more times. As we do this articulating bridge, take note of where in your spine seems to be a little bit stuck. Like, oh, I can't differentiate between that spot and that spot. It seems like it just all comes down in one piece, which is fine. Just first notice that that's happening, and then we'll address it later. And release. And we're gonna do that one more time, hands down, press the hips up, arms come up, and then roll through your back. Well done. Awesome. Good. All right, let's bring those arms back down and the legs out long on the mat. Have your feet sort of just underneath you as if you were standing on them, and then let's point and flex the feet pretty rapidly here. Just point and flex, get those ankles moving. We did it standing at the beginning, but now we're gonna do it more of an open space. Flex and point, flex and point. Yeah. And if your shins start to burn, you're doing it right. Good. What if we did one side at a time? So alternating flex and point. Nice. Good. And then finish with both feet flex. And I know your shins are probably working for you there. We're gonna bring one leg into a tabletop position where you have your thigh bone vertical towards the ceiling and then your shin horizontal, and still have an active foot there all the way to the end of your body. By having an active foot, it means everything in between your brain and your foot is active, okay? And that's Pilates, right? We want to integrate everything. So we're just going to do a vertical kick here, kick the leg straight up towards the ceiling, a little hamstring stretch. If you need to hold on to the back of your thigh, go ahead and do that, okay? Otherwise, just bend the knee and then kick the heel vertical. And it's going to take a little bit of abdominal strength just to hold the leg there. But we get a double dip or we get a hamstring stretch at the same time. Again, active foot, push your heel towards the ceiling. Push your heel towards the ceiling. Good, one more time, heel towards the ceiling and hold. We're gonna take that leg that's up towards the ceiling, cross it over the midline, and give yourself a full body rotation. Get that hip to lift up. Oh, we have a visitor coming. Sorry. not sorry. Bring the leg back up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee. Kick the heel up towards the ceiling. Reach over the midline. Good. Get your rotation in your spine. Pull yourself back up to the ceiling. We're going to do that 3 more times. Bend, kick, cross over. Let your hip lift. Nice. We're going to push through the arm that's on the floor to help you get that leg back towards the ceiling. You got it. Bend, kick, reach over. Bring out the spine. Last one. Up. Bend, kick, reach over. Nice. Return, bend the leg, and then slide your heel out long. Nice work. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So flexed feet, active feet, make sure your brain's working all the way to the end part of your body. You can grab a hold of your thigh or just go free leg. We're going to kick vertical towards the ceiling, and then heel drops down. Vertical towards the ceiling and heel. Nice. Kick, 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 and through. Active foot, push the heel up. Nice work. Takes a little bit of core control just to keep the leg in space there, especially if you let go with your hands. We're going to do 2 more. Last one, kick up and hold. Left leg. If you're with me on the left side, we're going to cross over the midline. I ran out of space. All the way over. Let your hip lift. Push through your arms to bring your leg back towards the ceiling. We're bend 1 time. Kick vertical, up and over, reach. Up. Nice. Bend, kick, reach over. Looking good. Center. Bend, reach, roll. And center. Try to keep your arms on the floor, flat on the floor with your upper half of your body. What? Yeah, last one. Kick up and roll. That's it, Mike. Good concentration. And then return and release. Nice job. Grab your knees into your chest and give yourself a little rock. See if you can throw your feet up a little bit, which will maybe take your tail up off the mat. This is the playful part. We're going to bring that into a rock and roll to sit. See if you can bring yourself up into a sit. So kicking, and then tuck your head up and come on up. Kick through those legs. Yep. Kick through those legs. Good. 2 more. 1 more time, meet me in a seated position. Awesome. Good. From here, we're going to cross the legs over and roll over our shins. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to come back to a sitting position. Rock through the shins again, and then sit back, push through the floor, and lift your chest. There you go. Bring yourself forward again. Roll over the shin bones. Roll back over the shin bones. Whatever you need to do with those legs, but find some extension on the back end. Chest up. Good. 1 more time. Roll forward over your shins. Roll back. Find your extension. We're going to go over the shins again and then stay here. So now we're in quadruped. Just going to shift a little bit. Hands and knees. All right. If your wrists start to bother you, you can bring maybe a blanket or a pillow and come onto your elbows. Okay. Right here, we're just going to do a little bit of wrist stretching first. So we're going to bend your elbows towards your knees and come down to the floor. This is called drinking posture. And then press yourself back into your quadruped position, your hands and knees. So make sure that your elbows don't go out wide. You want them to be narrow, and they're going to come in towards your knees and then push back up. Yeah, elbows come in towards your knees and then push back up. Maybe you get a little tricep press in there, huh? Especially if you keep your weight over your wrists. 2 more. And last one. Nice. Holding here, we're going to go into that tricep drop. circle the elbows out to the side and then push yourself up. Spiral your elbow pits forward. What? Yes, elbow pits forward. Bend the elbows. Circle the elbows out to the side and then come back, elbow pits forward. Go ahead and do that a few more times. So as you're moving through that, you're getting a stretch on the wrists as long as your hands are not moving on the carpet or the floor. So if you keep your fingers always forward, you'll get a little bit of mobility there. Yeah, one more time. Reverse the direction. Okay, think about that for a second. We go out to the side, sweep in towards the knees, and then press. Out, sweep, press. Nice job. Out, sweep, press. Last two. Out, sweep, press. Wow, I don't know about you, my triceps are alive. Good, nice job. Untuck your toes, and if you can, sit back on your heels or come up into high kneel. So if the back on your heels doesn't suit you, come into a high kneeling position, and we're just gonna shake it out. So grab onto your hands, clasp your fingers, and then glue your elbows together, and we're gonna wrist roll. And then we go roller coaster. Yeah. Can you reverse your roller coaster? Always awkward in one direction. It's okay, you can laugh at yourself. That's what it's all about. Cool. All right. So we're gonna come back into your quadruped position. Let's tuck your toes. Make sure your toes are tucked in. If you need to kind of reach back and get them situated, we can do that. And then sit back as far as you can over your heels with your arms stretched forward. Pushing through your toes, make sure you get a purchase of your toes in the ground. Rock forward and back. Rock forward and back. Rock forward and back. You got it, nice job. We're gonna do 2 more of those. And last one, shift forward over your wrists and stay there. Now, really make sure you have your toes purchased. We're gonna lift your knees up and stick your butt up in the air, and then come back down and shift off of your wrist. So we won't stay there for too long. Okay, unless you want to. Shift forward, lift your knees up, almost turn yourself upside down. Knees down and then shift back. You got it. So Pilates version of a downward dog keeps the heels up, okay? So we're gonna shift forward, keep the heels up, active feet, knees down, and return. You got it, nice work. If the upside down doesn't feel good on your dizziness, you can just keep rocking forward and back. Shift forward, upside down, bring it back home. One more time, you guys, looking good. Shift forward, upside down, bring it forward, and release. Nice work. All right, we're gonna take your right foot next to your right pinky here. And I know it might take some fiddling, so take your time to get that split lunge. And if that does not feel accessible for you because of your hips, we can be on a chair, okay? So you're either down here on the floor or here. And we're just gonna rock forward and back. Or again, you're on the floor, rock forward and back. That's it, good. One more time. Good. Finish forward. We're gonna do similar to what we did at the beginning. I'm gonna just demonstrate on the chair, just so we have this version too. So you have your right foot forward, is that correct? Right hand is gonna come onto the small of your back or your hip, and we're gonna push through and rotate over the right side of your body. Good. We're gonna reset, rock back, bring yourself back forward, transition back into that rotation. We're just going in and out of that rotation so we can reset every time, and then hopefully we get a little further every time. Yeah, One more time. Take your eyes with it. And release. Good. Let's fold that right leg back underneath us. Same thing on the other side. How we doing, guys? We good? Good. Okay. Left foot comes forward. Do what you need to do to get there. There you go. Hey, I saw that. Nice job. Rock forward and rock back. Good. Rock forward and rock back. Good. Nice work. Everyone's on the floor. Nice. Good. Two more. And one more, and then finish with your weight forward. So we had the left foot forward, so we're gonna put the left hand behind the back. And we're gonna rotate, push through the floor with your other hand, and then come back to the floor and rock back. So every time you reset, you get to start over. It's like fresh start. Can I go even further this time? Open, take your eyes with it. And return, shift back. Let's do two more. Shift forward, rotate, open, take your eyes with it. Lovely, and return. Last one, shift and rotate, open. Nice job, and return and release. Let's bring that leg back underneath you. I'm doing much more Primal today than I am Pilates. I felt inspired by the Primal. So right here, we're gonna sit on your heels and drop your hips off to one side. And if you need to put your hand out to the side to kind of catch you, you can. So you have your feet tucked in right underneath you here and your left hip on the floor. There you go, yeah, good. So we're gonna hold on to your shins on this side. See if you can inch off that left hand and side stretch over the top. Good, nice. We're gonna add some, again, rotation on this. I love rotation. So we're gonna rotate our body and do a little push-up. From here, that right arm is gonna draw almost like a rainbow. I call it a cartwheel. Grab onto your shin and side stretch over. Open up all of these ribs. Breathe into those ribs. Bring your hand back down. Rotate the body and then push up. Good. Cartwheel over. Big movement. There you go. Now, you know the drill now. Have some fun with it. If you're a dancey type person, you can get the flow of the arms. If you're a type person, I don't know what that means, but make it a little bit more robotic. Last two. One more time. Good. And then finish just seated. Nice. Try not to use your hands, but if you need to, you can press off the floor. Press yourself up into a high kneel. Nice. Over to the other side with that right hip coming down onto the floor. Don't forget that transition. We're going to come practice that in a second. See if you can grab onto your left shins so that you can side stretch on this side. Looking good, you guys. Adam, you have an athletic group here. This is great. We're going to rotate, drop the chest, cartwheel over, and side stretch. Reach through. Same thing as the other side. When you guys go into, there's Buddy. When you guys go into your rotation, try to get yourself fully over to the side so it's not in front of the body, but over to the side. And cartwheel. Very nice. Two more. Last one. Lovely. Nice job. No hands. Press up. Switch your hips to the other side. No hands. Switch up. Press over to the other side. No hands. Press up. Switch. Keep going here. If that does not suit you, just drop the hips from one side to the other. So kind of stay in your upper half range or go as far down as you can. We're gonna do that 4 more times. 3 more times. 2. Last one. Awesome. Nice job. I should say this. So one participant is not able to go on their knees. You could do this next part standing in a split stance, okay? So we're gonna have your left foot forward and make sure that your back toe is rooted behind you. That means your body's primed for movement. And we'll take our hands behind our head and open up your body. Good. So if you have your left foot forward, we're gonna side bend over to the left. Good. And then bring yourself back vertical. Let's have your hands on your forehead. Because if your hands are on the back of your head, you're gonna maybe be pushing your head forward. So the center reminds you to bring your hands up. And then we're gonna rotate over to the left. We've done so much rotation now. I hope you have good range there. Side bend first. So if you're doing this standing, you're gonna do this in an offset stance with the left foot forward. And rotate. Side bend. Yep. And rotate. Last one. Side bend. And rotate. Beautiful. Hands down. Switch to the other side. Tuck your back toe. That means your butt's going to work a little bit more for you. Hands on the forehead. Lift through your spine. Side bend first. Open and expose those ribs. Looking good. Up. Rotate to the right. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Good. And then center yourself back. And what we're going to do, alternate between the two of those. Inhale. Inflate the ribs. And then rotate. Good. And I know I was talking, but I like to go inhale on the side bend. And then I exhale on the rotation. Sort of squeeze out the spine, press out all the air. Last one, side bend, inhale. I know, we're almost there. And rotate. Beautiful, nice job. From here, bring that leg back underneath you. And if you're standing, this will end up just being sort of a march. But we're gonna take your right foot forward and then your left foot forward, getting a swap of your feet. Working on some of that agility and weight shifting. Good. Now tap your opposite knee to hand when it comes forward. Get your right and left brain together. Right, Stella. And tap. Good. 4 more. 3. And feel free to go at your own pace. 2. And 1. Finish with your left foot forward, whatever that is. Finish with your left foot forward. If you're standing, you're gonna do this on a couch with your hands. Bring your hands down to the floor. So you have your left foot forward, is that correct? And we're gonna lift up your back foot and slide the foot in. You can have your knees bent, that's totally fine. Bring the leg back, bend your knee down, and then tuck your leg back in and come up to the kneel. I know, we're working on standing, Mike, we're getting there. Right foot forward, hands to the floor, back leg lift, bring your other foot forward, and maybe stretch your butt up towards the ceiling. You got it. So we're gonna work on some agility here. If you guys wanna take it all the way to a stand, you feel safe going through that? Feel free. It's sort of this different style burpee. Press. Nice. So we're just working on getting up and down from the floor. One more time on each side. Keep track, please. Yep. And when you're done, we'll meet on your stomach. You're gonna lay all the way down on your stomach. And just melt. Good, pairing work with recuperation. Let's have you lay on your stomach with your right ear on the floor. See how much of your cheek you can get onto the mat. Or sorry, off of the mat. See if you can get your whole ear on the mat. And then pull your collarbones wide, pinch your shoulder blades together, float your chest just enough so that your nose can pass over the ground, and then bring your other ear to the floor. So we're just doing essentially neck rotation on the mat. Go ahead and pull your collarbones wide, pinch your shoulder blades together, lift your chest enough so that your nose can graze across the floor, and then switch to the other side. So we're just flip-flopping right ear to left ear, but I want you to try to keep your nose, as you're making the transition from right to left, almost rub your nose on the floor. So keeping your chin tucked. And you're gonna pull the collarbones wide to do it. Nice. Good, yeah, nice. All right, so then come to that point where you're coming through the center and your nose is barely touching the mat, and bring your arms back towards your hips and float them off the floor as if you're flying through space. So you're gonna be on the floor. I know I'm not demoing because I'm sort of here, but demoing, bring your arms up here and you have a little float off your nose, and then release everything totally. And then engage again. So we're gonna collarbones wide, float your nose up off the mat. You're looking down at your floor, and then release. And then again, engage your back body, pull yourself up off the mat, and release. 2 more, pull yourself up, tuck your chin in, reach through the crown of your head, think length, and release. And we're gonna go for 1 more time. Pull yourself up the mat and hold. See if we can go through a little breaststroke. Bring your arms in front of you, circle the arms around. Bring your arms in front of you, circle the arms around. Try to keep your nose down in the water as if you had a snorkel on. As if you had a snorkel. You won't have to come up for air. Keep your nose facing down towards the mat. 4 more. If you want to add a kick, go for it. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Nice job. Press yourself back into a child's pose or some sort of version of a restorative posture. Nice. Separate your knees. And we're going to shift forward onto your elbows for a froggy stretch. Toes together, knees apart. Wonderful. 2 more times there. Yep. And last one. Good, nice job. For this next one, if you have balance problems falling backwards, I recommend orient yourself so that you're in front of a couch or something that could potentially catch you. So we're gonna come forward, tuck your toes, shift back, coming into a deep squat. Now use what you need to help you stand back through if you need something. Oh, so good, you guys are awesome. Drop down, come onto your knees, untuck the toes. Rock forward, tuck the toes, shift back. If you don't need your hands, don't use them. Stand on up. Couple more times. Again, transitions on and off the floor, super functional. You use everything in your body, including your core, to help you rise. Yeah. Nice. Good, we'll do that 1 more time. Good. All the way up to stand and hold here. All right, find some open space for a second. Let your arms come down by your side. I'm not going to do too much of a body scan because we're going to get that in the next little bit, but just let yourself hang for a second here. And after a bout of good solid movement, you should feel yourself naturally sort of swaying. And that's your body's ability to absorb and redistribute forces. It's healthy. If you're static, then anything that comes into you is going to knock you over, as opposed to being able to absorb that and just let it flow through your body, okay? So that's called postural sway, and that's a super healthy thing. It's nice to check in with that at the end of class. All right, I think we'll take a bio break, as Adam calls it, for a couple minutes, and then we'll come back for the meditation. That's how it normally works. That we'll start, let's see, we'll start in about 4 minutes.